This is Steve Piloff from George Mason University. I wanted to throw up a slide to summarize what students need to know and be able to do and be able to understand with respect to the present value of annuities and annuities due. If there's no extra cash flow, so it's just a straight up annuity or annuity due, they should be able to find the present value of those cash flows, also the payment amount, the number of payments, and the rate. So if there's no extra cash flows, be able to be comfortable with all of those. If there's an extra cash flow at time n, and what that means is you have an annuity or annuity due with n payments, and then also at time n there's an extra payment, you should be able to find the present value, and that can be done one of two ways. It can be done as either find the present value of the extra, then find the present value of the annuity or annuity due, and then add them together. But since the number of payments is equal to the number of periods for the extra payment, it can be done in one step. You can also find the amount of the payment, and again that can be done one of two ways. You can do it in one step, or you can find what the present value is of the extra cash flow, take that and subtract it from the present value of all the cash flows, and then now you've got what the present value of the annuity due must equal, and find the payment associated with that. The number of payments, if there's an extra cash flow at time n, you don't need to know that. It doesn't lend itself to a nice intuitive question. You're trying to figure out the number of payments and you come up with an answer of 4.77. Then you've got an extra cash flow at 4.7. It just doesn't make sense, and so we don't have that. And then we'll have the rate with an extra cash flow at time n, and that can only be done with the financial calculator. There's no easy way to use a rate to find a present value of the extra and then use the rate to find the present value of the annuity or annuity due, other than lots and lots of trial and error, but it can all be done nicely in one step in the financial calculator. If there's an extra cash flow that's at a time that's not time n, you can find the present value. Again, all you do is, in any of these you can't do in one step. So you need multiple steps, but you would just finding the present value, you find the present value of the extra, you find the present value of the annuity or the annuity due, and then you add them up. With the payment amount, you find the present value of the extra, subtract it from the present value of all of them, and you're left with that difference. Then you find the payment amount associated with that. And it's a similar strategy with the number of payments, where again you've got regular payments, and let's say you've got an extra one here. Find the present value of the extra, subtract from the total present value. Actually, you're trying to find the number of payments, so you don't know how much they are, but you do know exactly when that extra payment is. So you can find the present value of the extra, subtract it from the present value of the whole thing, and then how many payments of this amount do we need such that the present value is equal to that difference. There won't be one of finding the rate, because the only way to do that is trial and error. To say, okay, if the rate was this, would the present value of all of these be equal to the present value? No? Well, let me try a different rate. And so since there's no nice logical way to approach it, that's not something that we expect out of our students in Finance 301. So hopefully this little summary table of what you need to know and what you don't need to know is useful.